Why, hello, Magnusites! So you mean to tell me One Punch Man Season 1 was one of the greatest first seasons of any anime series ever? With some of the best animation ever. They choose to go with a different art studio, art house, what have you, for the second season. Let every single fan down of the series. Lackluster. While interesting at points, still nothing compared to the first season. They take years. Is it 6 years? Years to bring out the third season. After hearing the mountain of complaints from fans about the animation and art style of the second season, they double down and do the same BS with art style and animation that is it's probably worse than the second season. And I say that because I've only watched the second season once. I've watched the first season. I can't count how many times I've watched the first season. That's how much I love that first season. This first episode was boring. The art style wasn't good, and neither was the animation. There are plenty of times when you're building the story where still, when you're watching an anime, you're still captivated. You're enjoying it. Even when there's no fighting. There has to be downtime. You know what I mean? I was going to say, well, a whole show can't be all fighting. Well, you know, we know some are, you know, but you got to have some downtime to set up stories, and that's fine. I've been watching anime since I was in my teens. Plenty of times, downtime is interesting. This wasn't interesting. And sometimes you can keep us captivated with really great animation and art style. Even if the story kind of sucks, like you're drawn in by the animation and art style. However, you can't have all three be bad. And that's exactly what they did. I cannot believe they would do something this stupid. I can't believe it. Now, sometimes with anime, things start out bad and get better. I just got a bad feeling that it won't happen, but it could. You never know. It could. You don't know. I don't understand why they didn't go back to the same people that did the first season. Now, some of you that follow anime, you follow to the bone. Y'all get down to the nervous system to figure this stuff out. You're following the companies, seeing what deals are going under, what deals are being done, what this animator said about what the company's doing, what the head animator said, what the director said. I don't follow it like that. Okay? Maybe I should start so I don't get my hopes up for certain things and then, have my feet kicked out from beneath me. And this villain irritates me. The one with the Heihachi haircut. He irritates me. I didn't even like him in the first one. He's actually kind of interesting. I'm hoping that I will like him eventually. The best villain to me is the villain that you hate but you like him at the same time. Megatron's a prime example of somebody like that. Vegeta is a prime example of somebody like that. And we can go on and on and on. There's a lot of different ones. The Joker. He's an example of that. You know what I mean? So all the wind has been taken out of my sails, and I really don't even feel like finishing the series. But I am, because it's One Punch Man, and I gotta see what they do. I mean, we haven't had them for years. Years! So I gotta see what they do. But this is, oh my God, this is like a 1 or 2 out of 5 woos for this. I was just sitting there. I'm like, I can't believe how boring this episode is. Okay, all right. Terrible. People are tearing it apart online. They are going in. They're saying it's fan-made. They're saying it's a slideshow. They're saying the animation is worse than the second one. They're saying they're calling them stupid. They don't understand it. A bunch of panels with mouths moving. Like, they are going in on it. It's not hard to find. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this first episode of season 3. I can't believe I saw a couple of reviews. People are like, animation's great. You know what those people remind me of? They remind me of my homeboy. When Dragon Ball Z was getting real hot over here, when it first started to, we were in our teens, early 20s. And I'll never forget this. I noticed that with every 3rd or 4th episode of Dragon Ball Z, their animation would be horrible. And the art style in animation just so horrible. And I didn't understand it. I'm like, why every 3 or 4 episodes are they doing this? And it would be at peak moments of battles and cool moments. And they would have, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Shoot forward. I'm a YouTuber. Pops into my head again. I decided to look it up. And there's this whole forum on it. The whole thing talking about the different art houses that they used. And this one particular one that everyone hated. And that was the one I was thinking of. And they didn't, this whole thing, the fans were like, why in the would you use this art house? What is wrong with you? When you had all these other ones putting out these great episodes that you could have did. What is wrong with you? So, my boy, I'll never forget this. I was at his house, and I said, you see this episode? This is the bad animation. I hate when they do this. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, you don't notice the difference between this animation and the episode we just watched? And you know what it was? It was it was Vegito. It was the Vegito fight. It was when Goku and Vegeta first merged against Buu. Oh, right. That one. Yeah. And I think the episode right after that is the bad animation. I think that's the one. And I was like, he was like, no, I don't see the difference. It's just how it is. Certain people can tell the difference. Some people can't. You know? Like I had somebody tell me the other day that I forgot his comment was like insane the way he wrote it. I just deleted it. I was like, okay, you're insane. But he was mad at me because I said that the difference between PS5 Pro and PS5 was basically minuscule. Look, the fact that they have to zoom in to show us the bacteria on our gaming screen, to show us the difference between the two. I'm sorry. And the more polished stuff that I've seen, like with Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, like, it still doesn't tell me it's that much better, so I need to spend $700. No, I'm not. It's not worth it. Sorry. It's not worth it. So, everybody has their taste. It is what it is. I envy the people who think it's great. I want to be you, because that way I would enjoy crappy animation. And then I would just be a happy anime fan. I just watch anything. As soon as I see certain art styles or choppy anime, like stuff is just really bad, I can't stand it. And anime has its own choppiness, but it came from the history of anime when they were trying to cut corners and put out animation, and they came up with ideas and ways to do things that have become synonymous with anime. But when it's done right, it looks great. When it's done bad, it looks bad. And God, I'm done talking. 10 million subscribers.